Like I said about the Cena versus Rollins match, is that basically I don't think there's going to be a winner. I think there should be some sort of outside interference, something that breaks up this match, something that takes it out of its element and makes it something different. That way where Cena's going to keep his United States Championship, Rollins is going to keep his World Heavyweight Championship, and the feud is going to continue into something else. One of the rumors that's being thrown around is that a lot of people think that Sheamus is going to be coming in and breaking up this match in order to cash in and become the Money in the Bank, Mr. Money in the Bank champion, where he cashes in his briefcase, beats Seth Rollins, ends up becoming champion. Hell, like we saw at WrestleMania 31, he could break into this match, making it a three-way, and he could even beat Cena to become the champion, and Rollins wouldn't even have to lose because he changed the rules and made it a three-way, something that I don't even know if that was really legal. Honestly, in my mind, it reminds me a lot of what Hernandez did in TNA when he was the Feast or Fire champion, and decided to add himself into a five-way match for the championship, making it a six-way, only to get beat up by Eric Young and lose his Feast or Fire thing. I always thought that Hernandez was going to become like champion and was going to become more than he was, but I think that was the writing on the wall that TNA wasn't going to be pushing Hernandez to the moon, putting him into a feud, losing the Feast or Fire deal, and going into a feud with Eric Young. But Sheamus is a guy that's been champion in the past. He's beat John Cena at TLC when Cena slipped off a banana peel on the top rope, crashing through a table and making himself the champion. And then, of course, during the Nexus run, basically during a cage match, Nexus came down, helped Sheamus win his match, and since then he became World Heavyweight Champion, of course, at WrestleMania 28. He beat Daniel Bryan in a matter of seconds, and he's probably held that belt somewhere along the line where he lost it and he picked it up again. So Sheamus has been a guy where he has he's been at the top. Even though he's a champion, he would have been a lesser of a guy. But it is what it is. I don't really see Sheamus is cashing in. I think, honestly, he's one of the guys that was hurt the most by WWE getting rid of the World Heavyweight Championship, merging it together, having both titles become one. Because you used to be able to have the WWE Championship, which everybody knew was the number one. The guy that was holding that belt was the top dog in the company, and then the one. That World Heavyweight Championship was sort of the guy that they were sort of keeping on top. He was the easy number two. He was the leader of SmackDown, and it is what it is. I think that Sheamus is a great guy. There's been rumors in the past of Vince McMahon thinking that Sheamus was going to be the John Cena of the company, the guy that was going to, Cena was going to pass the torch to and become the number one babyface, and everybody was going to come to the matches to see Sheamus. And I just don't see him as that guy. I don't really see him as a good babyface. I don't really see the guy as a good heel. He's a great wrestler. He has great matches. He's one of those guys that's going to go out there and hit the other guy as hard as he can. When Sheamus won the Money in the Bank briefcase at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, I was negative on it at that point. I didn't think that he was going to be a good guy that could take care of the opportunity to be cash in and become champion. So I don't really see him as the guy that's going to be cashing in at SummerSlam. I think that this feud between Cena and Rollins is going to go on for a while, and him, coming down to the ring to cash in is only going to result in him losing. I would love to see the point where somebody cashes in and the match is stopped due to disqualification or just something stupid due to a technicality, and then we just have some guy as a big idiot that cashed in and did it. When Cena did it, it was a run-in from the Big Show, which I think led to CM Punk still pinning Cena, but we'll see. And some people think that Sheamus is really going to do it. What do you guys think? I don't think he's becoming champion at SummerSlam. Hey, what up everybody? This is Stephen Breach coming to you. What is a continuation of basically my last video when I said that basically I didn't think that Sting was going to be returning at SummerSlam in order to mess up Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar. I gave everybody a lot of respect, basically saying that I dream up a lot of situations that never really happen. So I'm not calling anybody stupid by shooting down the rumor saying that I don't think that's going to happen. But here is the dream sequence that I have for the John Cena versus Seth Rollins match with Sheamus cashing in. I'm not 100% sure that Sheamus is going to ever cash in and become champion. Do I think they're going to make him look like a goof trying to cash in and not prevailing? I'm not sure. But, maybe that is just sort of used as an insurance program that in case somebody gets hurt, somebody does something stupid and they need to be taken off television, they always have the money in the bank to sort of, fix any sort of situation along the way. It's helped them up in the past, and maybe that's what Sheamus is right now. I just don't look at Sheamus as a babyface or as a heel as the #1 champion of a company. I don't see him as somebody that I fear as a heel, that I would just sort of watch week after week trying to see like who's going to be able to beat this guy. It just doesn't work for me. But I do know that a lot of people think that Seth Rollins versus John Cena is going to last as a 3-month program, basically going for SummerSlam, Night of Champions, and finally finishing off at Hell in the Cell, inside of the Cell itself. And I know for John Cena to be keeping the United States title and sort of having these title versus title matches, I don't really see Rollins walking out with both belts. I don't really see Cena walking out with both belts. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but maybe there could be a way that they could use Sheamus to take one of the belts off of one of these guys, where basically the feud would be able to have a winner at Night of Champions. They'd be able to have a finish to the SummerSlam match. There's so many people who think that this is going to end in just sort of a big, what's the word I'm looking for? What was the word Bret Hart used in Wrestling with Shadows? Basically, it's just going to be a smoz, where guys run in, people this, people that. One way or another, there's no finish. Maybe just Rollins runs out, decides he doesn't care about the United States Championship. More importantly to him, is the keeping the WWE World Heavyweight Championship and keeping Triple H and the Authority in his back corner. Anything it takes to make that happen, whether it's a disqualification, a count out, just a full-on forfeit, that it's going to be what it's going to be. But maybe, you do have, both of these guys beat the hell out of each other, because that's one thing that these guys are both really good at, is beating each other up. Maybe, these guys beat each other up to the point where Sheamus looks at this as an opportunity, much like at WrestleMania that Seth Rollins took, running down and making this into a 3-way. The only deal is in this match, it's already been said that it's champion versus champion. United States title and a WWE championship is on the line. Sheamus comes running down, takes his Money in the Bank briefcase, inserts himself into the match. Inside of the Money in the Bank briefcase, there's the contract that says that he gets a shot at the WWE World Heavyweight Championship at any time. Now, I've never gone back. Maybe, since then they've been rewording the wording. I remember that when Damian Sandow had the Money in the Bank briefcase, he won the same year that John Cena did. And John Cena immediately cashed in and lost his chance. So everybody was thinking that Damian Sandow was only able to cash in on the World Heavyweight Championship because at that time they had different branded Money in the Bank matches. But as time went along and there's only one Money in the Bank briefcase, or was that the year Ziggler had it? Because there was the one year Ziggler had it and he had the match with John Cena, and they were saying that John Cena could win the Money in the Bank briefcase, and the briefcase was available to cash in on either belt. One way or another, they've sort of changed the way things have gone. But basically, Cena and Rollins are in the ring. They beat the hell out of each other. Sheamus comes running down, inserts himself into the match, much like Rollins did at WrestleMania 31, making it a 3-way. At this point, Sheamus would pin Cena. He immediately thinks himself as being the new WWE World Heavyweight Championship, but due to the fact that it was champion versus champion and he only beat one champion, Sheamus would then win the United States Championship belt immediately. I know you're thinking what I'm thinking. The United States Championship takes a huge loss. It immediately doesn't mean what it meant, the last few shows with Cena doing the U.S. Open Challenge. But then you could go on and you could have a Night of Champions match where it's Cena versus Rollins, and maybe you could do a finish where Rollins would beat Cena. Rollins would be able to keep his belt, and there would be fuel to the fire to add it to the Hell in the Cell. And then Sheamus would be able to go off and he'd be able to defend his United States title against any mid-carder of his choice. As of right now, it's pretty stacked on the heel side, but you've got, Rusev is probably going to be tied up with Ziggler for a while, but, you would have Owens, you'd have Cesaro, you'd have lots of guys to pair up with Sheamus and put him into that, or maybe even Randy Orton would be wanting to go farther with that. But if Orton beats Sheamus, that's 2 wins at 2 pay-per-views in a row. What's the point of really doing that again for a 3rd time? But that's one way to end, the thing with the cash-in. It might not be the most perfect idea, but I know that if the champion versus champion match happens at Night of Champions again, and somebody doesn't walk out with both belts at SummerSlam, I don't know why you would think at Night of Champions, when knowing that they have to have a match for Hell in the Cell, why you would think that they're going to have a finish at that pay-per-view as well. So we'll see what goes down. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys down the road.